Hassle. Let's go. Yeah, eh. Love you all, have a great day. Yo. Hassle. Six months poggy pog poggers. Jammies. Hassle. Why does Twitch want me to post this so much? As buff. Blankies, 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 blankies. Stay cozy, chat. Don Paparino. My doctor literally told me to stop vaping and go back to smoking till I quit for good. you go. Good champ. Hassle, hassle, hassle. Let's go 9 months. Hassle, hassle, hassle. Oh, well, let's go 3 months.
What's going on, everybody?
Hasan, hope you have a
I hope
good
everyone's
stream.
having a fantastic
Don't forget to
evening,
drink water and
afternoon,
stand up
pre-noon,
here and
no matter where you are in the world of Hasan Piker. And this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from somewhat sunny but very cold California, Los Angeles. We are live again, once again, folks. Boys, girls, and MBs. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's 53 degrees and sunny in Los Angeles right now, and I'm feeling pretty fucking good. Now, part of the reason why I'm feeling pretty fucking good is because I went to the gym 2 days in a goddamn row, boys. That's what it is. It is what it is. Makes me feel really, really, really good when I go to the gym.
A pregnancy.
So, feeling pretty poggers. Feeling pretty Haas buff. You know? Like I'm a goddamn gaming viewer. What is this? Donnie and Lang are little kids? Okay, just hold off on the clips for a second. No, it was like 45 degrees this morning, boys. It wasn't
Hey boss man, thanks.
it was not warm this morning. It was like 45 degrees. It was cold. Here's the thing. There's a thing called acclimation, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to tell you this again. There's a thing called acclimation. You get acclimated to warm weather. And when I get acclimated to warm weather, all of a sudden, it feels really goddamn cold. When it's a little bit below 65 degrees. Anyway. Living in the cold is not a flex. Living in the cold is not cool.
Is a sexual activity involving application of pain or constriction to the male genitals 1 year pog.
Anyway, regardless. We got it. You live in the cold. We got it. You're an ice cube. Okay, you're an ice pick. Who cares? Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good. I worked out. I woke up early again. I worked out. I
disengaged work.
You know, read up on things that were going on. I'm catching up on some of the work-related things that I've been putting off for a while. So life is good overall, even though I am doing 13-hour shifts. I gotta limit that part. I think as soon as I, you know, dial back the streams to like 10 hours, then I'll have some more time on the ass end of the stream. You know what I mean? On the tail end of the stream, which will make things a little bit better. Are you enjoying the new DSD time changes? I love it. Here in the DFW, we're having sunset at 7:30 p.m. and the temp range is around 63 to 75. I don't know. Like the new time, the daylight savings time is not like the worst. You know what I mean? It's not the worst because I'm able to fix my schedule as a consequence of that. So.
Close to that chat hassle.
You should give yourself 2 days off a week, brother. I can't do that. I can't even do 1 day off a week. You guys know this. I try to do a day off a week and then I lose my mind. I miss you guys too much. So I don't really like it. Anyway, here's the thing, guys. We are going to be talking about a bunch of different things today, news-wise. I'll probably get into reacts a little bit earlier than usual, and the reason why I'll get into reacts a little bit earlier than usual, and maybe even do some okay buddy, is because there isn't a lot of news. Like, there just literally is not a lot of
Hello,
news
Arjan.
going on.
Thank you for the poggers
Like, now that the
streams,
stimmy conversations are over, there is straight up a news drought. There is a manufactured border crisis going on, and the media is covering it in a really reactionary
Got a
point of
vaccine
view.
appointment.
We will talk about that.
Hospitals.
But everything else outside of that is pretty, like, no big ticket legislative agenda conversations going around. I guess maybe I guess maybe like HR1 HR1's a big deal, but like a lot of that is seemingly going to get eviscerated in the Senate, right? So I don't know. It is very like I covered the news under Obabe. Like, it's not like I know what it's like when you're when you covered the news under a Democratic administration, a neoliberal establishment or pro-establishment administration that will rarely make big headlines. The problem is, in some ways, Joseph Robinette, unlike Barack Obama, is literally doing some solid work. Like, if you were to make a direct comparison to Barack Obama's administration thus far, whether it be his cabinet appointments, the culture that they've demonstrated so far within the administration, the legislative accomplishments that they've pushed through, it is a little bit better than the Obabe era. So there's things to criticize, like, stopping the $15 minimum wage battle at the finish line. But there's some really good things, like the child tax credits that were added on, the amount of money that the working poor are going to be getting or soon, if not immediately, and even agitating for labor rights in a way that I never saw from Obabe, if we're being honest. Obabe gave a lot of lip service to labor unions, but I haven't seen a president in a very long time come out and straight up say, like, I am for the union efforts in Bessemer, Alabama against Amazon. That is a truly profound and unique situation. It's like Democrats that used to be the pro-union, pro-labor party are almost like coming back to their own old school methodology, old school methods. So that stuff is kind of cool. I mean, there's obviously, I mean, these are really popular policies too, so it's ridiculous that they weren't doing it thus far. But that's part of the reason why it is not as like I was mentioning, it's not as heavy on the news density. Anyway, let's just blast off real quick. I mean, personal news wise, last night for those of you who don't know, I waited. I wanted to hook up Racy a little bit, who's helped me a lot when I was playing Rust. He's a really nice guy. I like him a lot. So he was in the city, so I was trying to like ride around with him. I might do that later today too. There's a couple different different plot lines that I want to put together, but
have to run.
But I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. Like, there's a couple different stories that are coming through right now, like with Lana. There's a little bit of competition between like Lana and Anime. I don't know if either of them want to do that though. Obviously, I don't want to like force any role play onto them, so we'll figure that shit out.
Looking good, chat.
You know what I'm saying? What is this? I just so that's something that I'm thinking about. I might do something with Anime and my mom, Donna, which is Will's character that portrays me as my Italian mom from Hoboken, New Jersey. We might do something there. Another thing is Anime and Lenny. Lenny is I think like in love with anime or something. So that's another thing that I can pursue as well. I haven't decided. Lenny is Moon's character, for those of you who don't know. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going on. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on in the city that's pretty chill. But overall, last night, in an insane, for those of you who didn't watch, in an absolutely insane move, I went and, what is this? Poggers Drama Tuesday? What is this?
Oh shit, they just drove right by. Okay, dude. Alright, good shit, man. There you go, dude. Can't jump.
You forced the RP with Racy, but he was enjoying it all, so it worked out that he would be sick in a future gang war. What do you mean I forced the RP with Racy?
Thanks for everything, Hasan and chat.
You're right. I should have just let him fucking roam around like a headless chicken in the city, dude. Bro.
Hi, Hassel.
Like, 5 months sub, dude. Did you just learn roleplay terms? So you just like dropping that? Is that what's going on? No, you can force RP. It's terrible. It's the worst thing you can do. No. Forcing RP on someone is really horrible. It's really uncomfortable. And that's something that you don't want to do. Me knowing someone is a friend of mine, knowing someone who I know in the real world, who would be like a perfect fit with his skill set in a different group. Dude, yeah, and showing him how to fucking teaching the game mechanics, not forced RP.
Babes. I don't really watch as much anymore, BC. I've gotten busy with work, but I'll watch.
I think they meant the doctor thing, but that wasn't forced RP. That was you suggesting something to him. Yeah, the problem with the doctor is that you can't be a doctor and also fucking do crime. So I think his situation. A lot of people choose EMS and doctor jobs. A lot of people choose EMS and doctor jobs because it gives them an opportunity to, like, you know, develop relationships within the city, stuff like that. Because it gives them like really it gives them a good train ticket, basically. Something that none of you as my watchers are ever going to know about, because I get prio Q as a streamer. I think Racy probably has a decent prio as well, given the fact that he's a streamer outside of this and like him blowing up. Also, even Nino, who's careful around people, seem to like him because Nino knows Racy from Rust. That's why he said, remember when I said, oh, he reminds me of a guy who used to do a lot of work in the Rust Belt. And he said, I see what you are saying. You only wanted it so he could fly, but there is the flight school to learn now. Yeah.
Milaki.
I think he would be great. We could do some insane shit with Ray.
Dump
Cool.
it.
All right, let's see what he's saying.
That's pretty good. Yeah, good job, dude. I'll replace you. Yeah, dude. Donnie for the getaway driver. Finally, Jesus.
Drunk
Finally
stream
can
when?
do something useful. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think as far as like getaway goes, for me it's like, for me, I want to be as useful as possible. Like last night, from when you started in the game, now you've gotten a lot better at the game. GG. Yeah, I just want to be able to like
need more tax breaks for God's sake.
I think I'll be able to drive a little bit. Like if we do two doors, for example, like I can be the second getaway driver eventually. Not right now. I don't think I'm like one of the better drivers in our team, but
32-30 at HasanAbi.
the crazy shit you didn't see last night was I did a fucking 60-second bank heist with Randy, Blastoise, and Charles Summit. There was a laptop situation going on here. I'll just show it to you guys actually, and then after that we'll get into the fucking news. Hold on. So yeah, it was nuts. It was fucking insane, but it was like so nuts that I think it was nuts from their point of view too. Here, I'll just show it to you right now real quick. Like I asked him, like, is this normal? He's like, no. We went in. They had sold the laptop because they thought the tsunami was coming an hour later, right? So they sold the laptop to Digital Den. they went back and grabbed the laptop at Digital Den. Mickey and I have been talking. Blastoise and I have been talking about fucking doing a heist together for a while, right? So there's fucking when they get the laptop back, there's 6% on the laptop. I'm teaching like I was gonna go do manager runs with fucking Racy. I take Racy's car, this Dominator right here that I made him lockpick. I take it away from him. I go, no, I gotta go. I gotta run somewhere. Like, I take it to the bank immediately. I didn't even change. I literally had my like regular outfit on. We went in.
All your hard work, Hasan.
Randy cracked the fucking hack in literally one try. He one-shotted it. Like, I don't even know how fucking quickly he did that. So I brought the fucking car in. Gave the I didn't even get donuts. I couldn't even get donuts because we had like literally 10 minutes remaining on the laptop. So he one-shotted it. Look at how we got away. That's just one right turn after the bank. Like that. This is one right turn since the bank. Yeah. I don't think they got a fucking Ellie bird. I don't see one. 3 cruisers. I feel like this might be easy town. Not to speak too fucking soon, yeah?
Let's hope so, man. All I need is mistakes. I'm gonna take a little detour.
Alright then. Do a fucking detour. What, you racing him, bruv? You're racing the boy, damn.
I mean, it's better to be in front, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're fucking right, bruv. Who's in the car? Summit. Oh shit. What the fuck? Yeah, it was fucking jukes. Like, look at this. Oh my god. Very little damage on the car. Like,
turned 21
just absolutely fucking cheeks clapped. Like, ridiculous. It was insane. Well, it was partially because like it was right after tsunami. So the cops weren't prepared. They didn't have a helicopter. They had like they only had like 3 squad cars. It was just like that was the reason why it was so easy. But yeah, no, Summit's a great getaway driver, and so is Tony, obviously. Don drops it like it's hot.
I'm gonna say something to you, and I'm gonna say it once. Okay.
I also have a really nice ass, and I wanted you to see it while I ran away. You know.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm looking. Listen. I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm gonna say it once.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
You looking?
Hassle.
I'm gonna say
like
yes. I do. Matter of fact, and I'm gonna say this to you once. Okay. Whenever you're done,
look at that.
Whenever you're done with this other bitch, okay, and you decide you want a real one, you decide you
Don
want to hold
for
it.
me
You
too.
decide
Don't
you
believe
want
his
a real
lies,
one to
Lana.
hold it
He's
down.
using
Okay,
you.
you give me a call.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of my ass cheeks clapping right now.
I'm gonna say something.
2 months went by so fast. I've had a hard time this year. Thank you for keeping me sane, Hassle.
Okay. How did she not break? I was dying. I don't know.
Please, Ajan, do it. Hi, chat, Hassle.
Are the admins cool with you hitting the bank so quick after a tsunami? I don't fucking know. Oh, it's too late now if they aren't.
Hassboggers.
I think it's Lana was stressing over this whole ordeal. I feel I don't know. I wanna like do some like cool stuff with both Lana and anime. I wonder if I can do that.
Greatest export being 7-head Karens.
But regardless, this shit was really funny. This was really good. The Gone in 60 Seconds shit was really good. There's a casino court case tonight. I'm not even in it. I'm not even involved. I might just like go and watch it. But no, she wasn't, lol. Ashley rated her after. Oh, she wasn't interested in that? Like,
thanks, Hasan, for giving me the tools and information to dumpster and dumpster on them.
Didn't Lana already say she won't do that? Yeah, she kind of did. So I like we can figure something else out. Like some chill role play. You know what I mean? But
Pog.
we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. I just want to make sure that everyone's having fun. You know what I mean? Sleeper RP, super lame nerd shit. Dude, I just gave you in a matter of 2 clips. I showed you one clip where I fucking robbed the bank, and then in another where I'm twerking for a harem arc. Ladies want to pet my and doing a kitty play. Like, you can get the best of both worlds. I don't know what the fuck you're complaining about. Like, what do you want? Me to like fucking blow up the FIB building or something in the game? Is that what you want? Oh, I don't understand why he's not doing a terrorism arc. Like,
Wait.
or maybe he just meant like RP in general is fucking boring. Which, by the way, terrorism will come too.
Hassle.
Your audience really seems to not understand that RP does not equal real life for some reason, like more than others I've seen. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's partially because we've all been like really locked up in houses for so long that people just can't comprehend what's real life and what's not. You know what I mean? Like, I was looking at the comments under this and people were like, Don didn't do shit. Like, Don didn't do shit at all. Fuck him. Or someone was like, Don's gonna leave the Clean Boys and move into Changang. Like, yeah, okay, dude. You know you're addicted when you drop RP during personal news. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna drop the actual fucking news in a second. After I tweet out that I'm live. Do you think RP will keep being fun once things start to open back up IRL again? Yeah, I don't know why. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't it be? Am I in the thumbnail? Where? Where am I? I'm not in the thumbnail. Why'd you say I'm in the thumbnail? You lied to me. Wait, is that me? No, that's not me. Is that me? Oh, he put the OG. Oh, it's like the old school OG Don. Oh, okay. That's my old hair. My beard was like that day one, but I changed it. And I never wore a tank top, so I don't know. Maybe that's not me. It might not be me. I don't know. Who knows? There's some people that look like that. Well, it's because like it's one character. Yeah, well, I'm excited. Are you role-playing Don is scared of his wife, or is that just you? Yeah, dude, I'm terrified of women, and I'm actually a virgin. And I'm a fake Italian man from New Jersey who lies and says they're from New York. Or Liberty City. Can you change your title? Ugh, dude. Just fucking, here, take a day off, man. Fucking 7-month subs. Just like, such fucking babies, dude. Here, we're done. Okay, here, we're fucking done. Are you happy? God, oh my God. I can't believe my streamer spent 31 minutes since he went live. And in the 31 minutes, he spent 10 of those talking about a video game. I literally can't comprehend what else is going on in the world. I mean, holy shit. I might as well die right now because a streamer is fucking not doing enough politics. I did 4 hours of politics yesterday, dude. Shut the fuck up. And I'm not going to fucking change the title because I'm going into the news part of the broadcast right now. Okay?
What's up, dude?
Shut the fuck up. Killing viewers with title. No, it's because your title is wrong, LMAO. Tuesday, Newsday, border crisis, reacts galore. That's not wrong. That is literally what we're getting into.
You're
it's 30.
Stay drippy Q3.
Yo, everybody shut the fuck up, okay? Shut your stupid fucking mouths. I'm getting into the politics right now. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so... Dude, I have some of the most, like, privileged, entitled fucking audiences in the entire platform, I think. Wait. Like, I love you guys, but sometimes you're just fucking insane. Like, you're literally insane sometimes.
You're doing
just
great.
Chill the fuck out, okay? It's an entertainment platform. Like, literally, you've gotten so used to, like, us constantly having a conversation back and forth that, like, it gets to a point where you're just like,
7 months
you are
subs are
not
fucking
feeding
babies.
me literally what I want right now, as your title implies. Like, do you want me to change the title every time I start fucking doing a show by being like, first I'm going to do personal news for like 30 minutes before I get into the fucking news broadcast. Like the first hour is literally always is always chill. We don't like immediately jump into politics ever.
I will not shut up. Kiss kiss, you smell good.
Anyway.
Holy shit, one whole year with my daddy.
Okay, remember, like, I'm driving the fucking car, okay? You're along for the ride. Fuck, I was in a good-ass mood,
I
too.
enjoy
Holy
your
shit,
RP,
dude.
but I really like all the other talented people on the server who I never would have seen if you weren't playing with them.
Okay. Daycare is open. Talking about the manufactured outrage of cancel culture / border crisis, then getting into more reacts. Get in now. I already described like the reason why I look, every morning I wake up, I look at the top headlines, I do a bunch of fucking reading, okay, and I try to figure out like what direction I want to talk, like what direction I want to steer the conversation in, right? What are the stories I want to cover? And a big problem recently, and I already talked about it, and I like got into news already before I started fucking around.
Hasan, you are
But a big problem recently has been the fact that the Biden administration is like literally doing perfect PR. Like they are doing perfect PR. When you start doing perfect PR, the entire media class refuses to actually provide any sort of contentious journalism. And when there isn't a lot of contentious journalism, there aren't a lot of stories. There isn't a lot of drama. It's basically just business as usual politics, which can get very fucking boring. And it leads me to literally cover, for example, like I did in the past month or so, in the past couple of months, it leads me to cover the same story over and over and over and over and over and over again in like in 50 different angles, which I did that. Remember, if you recall, we talked about the stimulus bill, which is the largest like legislative achievement so far. And I covered it literally forwards, backwards, front side, side by side, like underneath, over and over again. So many times that there isn't really much to cover about it after a certain point, right? Like I've gotten to the same fucking argument with $15 minimum wage like 50 times in the past month. So how are they doing perfect PR? They're doing perfect PR because they're making it boring. That's perfect PR. That's literally the point of the press secretary. Like she's doing a great job in with respect to covering up the shitty things that the administration hasn't done and highlighting the things that the administration has done. Imagine complaining when you have this job, Chairman Tao. Wait, complaining? I'm not complaining, guys. I think it's pretty clear that I'm very, very happy about what I do. I'm not complaining about anything. I'm just giving you a reason as to why we are the spoiled ones. Oh, he's just still mad because he can't get the streamer to be his fucking content sex slave. Sorry, my friend. Yeah, no, I will definitely complain about that. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm tipping you. I'm tipping you 20%. You better also fucking respect me and make me feel like a big man, okay? I'm the customer here. You're the streamer. I think the PR was bad and they need to fix the point of the argument and need. JK, there's a game on Steam called Super Burning World. What? Can you cover the stupidity of Twitter telling AOC she needs to organize, not us? Yeah. There was a lot of lefties, including lefties I respect, and not like the usual dumbass lefties that I make fun of from time to time, that were upset about AOC saying, like, now is our time to organize. She's 100% correct. That's literally what Bernie Sanders also said. You must hate Bernie Sanders as well as AOC, I guess. Like, don't pull a lib shit. Don't pull that same shit that, like, liberals do, where they fucking love AOC but hate Bernie Sanders. But they love AOC, and AOC is promoting the same kind of values and ideas as Bernie is. So you love Bernie, but you hate AOC for saying what? That we need to organize? She's right. If you stop organizing, if we stop organizing, we're fucked. And as far as her takes on Tibet goes, yeah, obviously she's going to talk about fucking Tibet. The legitimate criticism there? The legitimate criticism there isn't like AOC is talking about Tibet because, you know, she's a fucking CIA or whatever. Shut up. The real criticism there is why is AOC never ever talking about Palestine in a similar capacity? That's the real question you should ask. Because when it comes to AOC's foreign policy, an area of weakness for her, despite her closest allies in Congress being Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and numerous other people who are very vocal about Palestine for obvious reasons, she herself is not very vocal about Israeli-Palestinian conflict issues and will routinely say that she's going to attend pro-Israel and pro-Israel events that are like literally thrown together by reactionaries and then, you know, bail on it last second or whatever. But it feels like she does a little, I don't know, she does that back and forth a little bit. I'm not like a fucking dumbass. I'm not gonna be like, she's paid by Israel. Like, no, I don't think that's what's going on. But I think that it's an area where she's like afraid of having a strong stance. So I'm sorry to say this though, but actually I'm not sorry to say this. I will say it with my chest. Shitting on AOC for trying to advocate for the same things that fucking Bernie is advocating for and has advocated for, and not shitting on Bernie and loving Bernie is the exact same shit that liberals do. You are hyper focusing on the aesthetics. You are literally hyper focusing on the aesthetics. It's the same reason why liberals love AOC and hate Bernie Sanders. Okay? Sorry. And this does not pertain to like Tibet or Israel or anything like that. I'm just simply talking about it from the point of view of like mobilizing around $15 minimum wage and numerous other issues. Listen, I've talked about this a million times. One of the biggest criticisms of the Obama administration for me was, well, there was a lot to criticize in the Obama administration, but one of the biggest criticisms of the Obama administration from my point of view was the fact that Obama shuttered Obama for America, changed it to Organizing for America, and firmly placed it under the DNC, and effectively dismantled a organizing arm that he could have used, that he was supposed to use to push for Medicare for all, or not Medicare for all, but like a single payer, some kind of single payer, or the public option at the very least. Call Maduro authoritarian, attacks an actual existing socialist state just to praise exploitative capitalist countries. Yeah, no, Maduro is totally not authoritarian. You're right. At least most Marxist-Leninists and other people like that, most leftists recognize that Maduro is authoritarian and will say he's authoritarian because this is the only way to fucking deal against the talons of fucking global capital, and that's the only way that you can run a country that's completely isolated from the global marketplace against the West. If you're a dumbass Marxist-Leninist, you say Maduro's not authoritarian because you're a dumbass. Yeah, good luck. Good luck literally talking to more than 4 people that's outside of your theory book club about how a guy like Maduro is not fucking authoritarian, dude. No, you don't understand. You need to watch this fucking... Dude, come on. Like, Abby Martin did a really good video on this. Like, Maduro is actually not authoritarian. All the crazy shit that happens down there is actually about... All the crazy shit that happens down in Venezuela, I saw on Telesur, is actually just CIA stuff. Like, you could literally just say that's the only way to combat against like Western influence ruining the country What do you want? You want a fucking fascist to come in and privatize every part? You want to privatize everything? He's not. Why isn't Guaido in jail then? I love that, dude. I love this take, okay? Just because there are certain areas where, like, Guaido is so insanely fucking powerless that, like, Maduro can literally fucking flex, that doesn't change the reality of, like, his oppression towards his own people as a consequence of the dire economic hand that they've been dealt, okay? That's one thing that is an honest assessment of the situation. Just saying that Guaido is not in fucking jail doesn't mean that Maduro is not running a somewhat dictatorial fucking regime. Unless you think Erdogan is not authoritarian either. You're so stupid, dude. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, Evo Morales. Is Evo Morales authoritarian? The Bolivian coup leaders are getting arrested, right? So is Evo authoritarian then? No, right? He's not. So sometimes when you fucking arrest your opposition, you can not be authoritarian, and sometimes when you don't arrest your opposition, you can still be authoritarian. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Morales is authoritarian. He's a leftist communist. Okay, you're a fucking moron if you think that Evo Morales is an authoritarian. You fucking idiot. Anyway. All these people surprised that Johnny Harris did a sponsor video. You called it like the day you watched the video, duh. Yeah, I talked about it when he did a fucking, like, what was it, like, what was it, Human Rights Watch sponsor video or something? Like, about, super capitalism or, like, capitalism with kisses or whatever the fuck. Look at that person's logs. Wait, what is this? Bye, Hasi. It was fun, but I'm out. Good luck with your liberal echo chamber career. Says Josh LFG. 10-month subscriber. Shut up, idiot. Okay. Yeah, see you in a week, okay? When you get bored of watching fucking Jason and Rue videos. Socialism sucks, MAGA. Why are you left wing instead of being centrist who doesn't believe in extremism? Megan is an attention-seeking person. We British people support the royal family. NHS sucks. We have no real control over patients. Okay, this guy's a fucking pet. Okay, this is a new pet. That's great. Intersectionality, by definition, requires support for Palestinian human rights. No, even Bernie does more than AOC in that regard. Seems to be at the very least the default to be critical of Israel as a leftist. I agree. It's great. Look, liberals think I'm a conservative or too much of a diehard fucking tanky or whatever because I criticize liberals too much. Marxist Leninists and like other lefties that are further to the left than me criticize me because I criticize like currently existing social democracies that are in a transitional state. Let's say if we're being as like gentle as possible with if we're using kitty gloves when dealing with a country like Venezuela. Let's say they're a social democracy that's transitioning currently because they are. Right? That have been pushed away from the rest of the world and the global economy and have crippling sanctions imposed on them because imperialist nations want to extract their robust natural resources, right? Being critical of a country like that while still, explaining the reason why they are the people of Venezuela are subject to the conditions that they are subjected to is not me being in a fucking liberal echo chamber. It's psychotic. What do you mean transitioning? What I mean transitioning is me being as charitable as possible to assume that there's actually still within the Maduro administration a genuine ideological willingness to fully turn into a socialist nation state. Like a country with plenty of private corporations, with a level of privatization all the way back in 2012 that is like similar to fucking France or less than France, or a country that has been able to only nationalize their extraction resources, is not a country that is socialist in nature. It is at the very most a social democracy. If you consider Norway to be a social democracy and a capitalist state, then you should also look at Venezuela in a similar capacity. Anyway. Why criticize the actual existing socialist revolutionary governments when you focus on the exploitative imperialist countries that are strangling them? There is no socialist leader that will get approved by liberal editorial boards. They will all get called authoritarian. Because if the situation is brought up where someone asks me for my perspective on Maduro, like, I'm gonna be fucking honest. You're being ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna overlook atrocities committed by leadership that you consider to be on your side when they don't give a fuck about you, and you don't even know if their ideological goals are the same as what you wish upon the world. More nuanced than just providing fucking unconditional support. You're supposed to provide critical, right? Anyway. Okay. There's an increase in migrants.
As you know, the White House also facing questions tonight over the alarming scene.
There's an increase in migrant children in U.S. custody, and literally everyone is losing their minds. Now, the reason why there's an increase, as we talked about already, is because of the backlog from the Trump administration straight up refusing to allow any fucking what is this? Oh God, this is gonna be dumb as fuck. Refusing to allow any immigrants to come into the country. The Remain in Mexico policy was implemented, and then borders were completely shut down in its entirety as a consequence of COVID. So Joe Biden opening the borders back up has been seen as like relatively controversial. I've talked about this yesterday, but here's where we're at.
More than 4,200 unaccompanied migrant children are now in U.S. custody. Reporters not allowed to go in, but legal advocates for the children are talking. And ABC's Cecilia Vega from the southern border, she's in Texas tonight.
Tonight, crammed inside these massive tent structures on the southern border, so many migrant children, some are forced to sleep on the floor. The Biden administration not allowing journalists in to see for themselves, but two lawyers who did get in spoke to some 20 kids, and they paint a disturbing picture. The unaccompanied children not supposed to be held here more than 3 days. Instead, some stay for a full week. 45 to 50 kids who made the long and dangerous journey without their parents, sharing a space like this.
That is where they would spend their entire day. They did tell us that every few days they were allowed to go into a courtyard for about 20 minutes.
How young are we talking?
We saw the whole spectrum from 1 to 17.
Authorities overwhelmed. The other side of this river, that's Mexico right there. Take a look here. This is the Border Patrol on standby during the day. At night, they tell me it is mayhem. Sources telling ABC News the more than 4,200 children currently in custody is at record levels. The Biden administration now bringing in FEMA to help with the crush and opening new facilities.
We have a lot of critics, but many of them are not putting forward a lot of solutions.
But for those kids inside these tents tonight, the solutions aren't coming fast enough. What you heard in Donna sounds like it really hit you in your core.
To see very young children scared, confused about what was going on, not being able to contact family members. It was just really emotional.
Remember, Obama also literally said when he first started the processing facilities for children, like unaccompanied minors, literally said, We don't want you to come here on your own because you're gonna get in trouble. There's gonna be harm that comes your way. Just like straight up the same exact shit that Republicans have said, or at least Republicans that care about putting forward talking points that make them seem not like demons have said. Ultimately, the difference between Obama and Trump, of course, was the unaccompanied minors versus straight up any fucking minors with their parents, obviously. But you're going to start hearing the same rhetoric from them. Instead of making this an easy process or a humane process, you're going to make this a very difficult process on purpose that's inhumane and cruel in an effort to make sure that no one comes in here. But as the situation is more dire south of the border, it doesn't matter. The parents are still going to risk it and send their fucking babies out on their own to the United States of America regardless. Either you have to literally just line them up and shoot them, or you have to accept them. You can only go two ways in this conflict. And I've talked about this a million times over. You either increase the violence, okay? Increase the dial on violence and cruelty, the senseless cruelty, to make it known to everyone that, like, you will be punished ridiculously if you come into the United States without the appropriate paperwork or whatever. Or you develop an understanding and develop empathy and understand the experience that these people are subjecting themselves to and try to actually solve the root causes of these problems that make people literally feel like they are better off in a fucking detention facility north of the goddamn border than they are south of the border. Okay? In their own original country. Because ultimately, not everyone is, like, it's not like these people are wanderlust Instagram celebrities. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh my God, going to America. No, like, these people go through they subject themselves to horrific conditions to be able to come into the United States of America because their situation back home is dire. It's worse off for them to stay back home than to come into the United States of America. They're not like just doing it for funsies, okay? They're doing it because it's a necessity for survival. Nobody's walking through the goddamn desert because they just want to have a walkabout. You know what I mean? It's a last-ditch effort for them. Yeah, as the chatter pointed out. So you have to analyze what the root causes are. You have to analyze the root causes and deal with them. And the root causes are economic devastation in the global south. That's it. Economic devastation that we have caused for the most part. Destabilization that we have played a role in for the most part. Whether it be neoliberalism in Chile, or whether it be the creation of MS-13 in America and the deportation of MS-13 gang members back to El Salvador without giving prior notice to the Salvadoran government, like death squads, trade deals, just numerous ways in which we fucked and exploited the global south and have created horrific conditions for these countries in Latin America, the coups, and it's forcing us to deal with this problem head on. What is the solution for this? Children with no families and no one to look out for them. What is the solution for this? First of all, a bunch of those kids do have families in the inside of the United States, so it's not the that's not even true. And secondly, there should be a process in which you help these kids out. My immediate take is, and this is something you can use for homeless people as well. Look, there are a lot of people without jobs right now. Okay, there are a lot of people without jobs, and there's just so much empty real estate. Reappropriate hotels, like commission hotels, and people that work inside of hotels, train them with the skills, and you know, that will improve their living conditions later down the line because they now have more skills to take care of these people that are coming in through these people that are coming in through the south of the border, and reappropriate the hotels and the workers that are literally without pay, without a job right now. pay them a fucking living wage, give them training, and have them help with the integration process. It's gonna be like thousands of hotels. That's not even true. That's literally not true. It's not thousands of fucking hotels. But the reality is, and some people will be honest about it, the reality is, if you were to do that, if you were to throw them in hotels rather than fucking cages, then people will turn around and say, well, then more kids are going to come. More kids are going to come because now the process is too easy. The process is too welcoming. Where it's politically unfeasible. So many Republicans would lose their fucking minds over this. They'll say, Americans can't get a hotel, but you're putting, brown kids inside of a Four Seasons. Like, remember, they're not racist, by the way, but always pin real Americans against, brown kids that are coming in from the south of the border. By the way, these hotels are literally fucking vacant. That's why I'm saying that this is like a legitimate move that they could do. Same with homeless people. When people criticize and say, what about the Americans that are homeless? What about our veterans? It's like, bitch, what do you mean? What about our veterans? Yeah, put them in hotels too.
Emotional to see the pain that these young people were in.
And so let's get to Cecilia with us tonight from Texas. Republican leader Cecilia, as we know, from the House, we're on the border today drawing attention to all of this. And what are you hearing from your sources on the ground there? What's driving these numbers that have only been worsening in recent weeks?
Yeah, David, I've been talking to so many people. Look, the Biden administration isn't sending these unaccompanied minors back across the border like the Trump administration did. That clearly is leading to some of the overcrowding that you're seeing here behind me. There's also this perception among the migrants that it's easier to cross now under the Biden administration. This message of do not come now isn't getting through. But David, you know this, these kids, they are fleeing horrible conditions back home, a heartbreaking situation out here on the border.
All right, Cecilia Vega in Donna, Texas tonight. Cecilia, thanks.
Okay, so that's what's going on in the ongoing border crisis. We're going to continue on with the Homeland Security Secretary speaking on it, right? But before we do that, it is top of the hour, and this is the first ad of the day. Top of the hour every hour. It's time for a 6-second ad break. You already know what the deal is, boys. If you no longer want to see the ads, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free with a Twitch Prime. How can you get a Twitch Prime? By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You can get one free Prime subscription a month that you can use on your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me and not someone else. And with a subscription, you also get to, not only avoid the ads, but you can send me links and shit too. I might look at them. I might not. Who knows? Here is the 1-minute ad now.
Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. Secretary Mayorkas, thanks for joining us this morning. You just heard.
Do not come here now. It's not a vacation. These people are running for their lives. Wait, what? Oh, you're referencing someone else. You're talking to someone else.
Heard Cecilia describe the situation there at the border. Total mayhem. It seems to be getting worse by the day. What's the administration's plan to get it under control?
Good morning, George, and thank you for having me. Let me take a step back for a minute and let me explain a very important, make a very important point, and that is that the border is secure. The United States Border Patrol secures the border on behalf of the American people. That's what we do, and we are doing it. In order to keep the American public safe in the time of pandemic, we are expelling families under the CDC's authority. We are expelling single adults. And what we are doing is addressing young children who come to the border to make claims under the humanitarian laws that our country has established years and years ago. And we are building the capacity to address the needs of those children when they arrive. But we are also, and critically, sending an important message that now is not the time to come to the border. And it's an important message, and let me share with you a real-life example why. We encountered at the border 3 young children under the age of 10 without a parent or a legal guardian. We did not expel them as the Trump administration did. We took in those children and placed them in the care and custody of Health and Human Services until we can put them in the custody of a parent or legal guardian or close relative here in the United States, but their mother didn't make it along the dangerous journey. And that is why we are saying, do not take the dangerous journey now. Give us time to build an orderly, safe way to arrive in the United States and make the claims that the law permits you to make.
You've been saying don't come now, but that message does not appear to be getting through right now.
I did not. I don't know if the CDC said that in order to limit the number of COVID cases, we should not allow immigration to happen. I don't think the CDC would have said that. I would be surprised if they actually fucking did say that. The Homeland Security Secretary is claiming that that's the case, but I don't know if that was actually the case at all.
So many seem to be responding to the president's promise that he would have a more accepting policy towards migrants. And you seem to be stuck in a difficult trap right now. But does the message have to be, don't come, period?
Well, I think actually we are, do not come now. Give us the time to rebuild the system that was entirely dismantled in the prior administration. And we have, in fact, begun to rebuild that system. We reinstituted the Central American Minors Program that provides a legal and safe way for children to make their claims here in the United States.
Why wouldn't that be a logical thing to stop the spread? Okay, first of all, travel limitations are actually a legitimate way to deal with a pandemic, right? Except the difference is it's not a stopgap measure. It's simply a mechanism to buy time. The real effective way to stop the spread of a viral disease is by contact tracing, is by implementing lockdown measures, is by enforcing mask wearing in public. All of the things that Republicans refuse to do, which is why I criticized Donald Trump since last year in the aftermath of the travel ban that he placed upon China, because he refused to actually use that as a fucking, use that as a time-saving mechanism to, start immediately quarantining people that came in from China and other places. He did not do that, so that was fucking bullshit. He refused. The administration didn't actually do any of the legitimate things that epidemiologists were suggesting they do in order to get ahead of the spread that other countries did. And for people who are saying Hasan is a virologist or anything like that in a sarcastic tone, I'm not. You don't have to be. You can literally listen to epidemiologists. You can listen to the specialists like I did and understand what they're trying to say, which is unfortunately more than what the previous administration did. That's the reality. Republican admins are still all around the country are still refusing to listen to the epidemiologists as well, which is really fucked up. Isn't sending your kids across the border alone child abuse or not? No, motherfucker, because they are weighing the consequences, okay? People cannot look, I know that you probably grew up in a fucking, you probably grew up in Naperville, okay? In a nice little goddamn suburb outside of Chicago, and you played your little fucking World of Warcraft while you were growing up, and you play Fortnite, and you do Fortnite dances, and you eat your chicken tendies, and your Hot Pocket is cold in the middle sometimes. So for your parents to be like, yeah, I'm going to leave you unattended and throw you out into the fucking wilderness, that seems like child abuse, right? Like it does. It seems like fucking child abuse if you grew up in a circumstance like that. But for these children, it's their parents literally weighing the consequences, okay? Weighing the consequences of the kids staying there versus literally crossing the border unattended and alone. They're putting together the last fucking money that they have to make sure that a reliable coyote can cross them over the fucking border. You understand? They're literally working towards that so that they could potentially offer the child a better fucking future than what they have back home. Is Mexico really that bad? It's not just Mexico. These people are coming all the way from Guatemala. They're coming from El Salvador. They're not just coming from Mexico. So, not all of them are always alone either. Some of their parents fucking die. A great quote. A mother would not put her child in the water if she did not think it was safer than land. Exactly. Exactly. That's the real reason. And for a lot of people who have lived a life, who are accustomed to a life of privilege and accustomed to a life of relative privilege, certainly, you know, if you think like Mr. Potato Head's gender being changed is like a gigantic burden on your father's day, then you are incredibly privileged in comparison to the average fucking Guatemalan asylum seeker, okay? That's it. That's just the fucking reality. You're being ridiculous. Like, so because of that, because of your decadent survival in comparison to the average person living in the global south, you have no way of comprehending why parents would fucking leave their child behind in the process of seeking asylum in the United States. Well, that's the reality is it's way fucking worse for them back home. That's why they do it. It's not like a selfish thing. It's not like entitlement that random brown parents feel. That's not how this works.
Under the laws that were passed unanimously by Congress many years ago.
Right now, you're not.
I think what is important, if I may, George,
sure.
What is important is it's not just the message. It's also providing the legal and safe avenue for them to come, and we are rebuilding that with tremendous speed. This is what we do. We know how to secure the border, we know how to care for children, and we know how to build legal and safe pathways to the United States that the law provides.
Right now, you're not getting cooperation from Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who's blaming it on what he calls the open borders policy of the Biden administration. Can you get that cooperation now? How do you respond to the governor?
We are receiving cooperation from local officials within the state of Texas. Unfortunately, our ability to reimburse those local officials under the FEMA authorities, to reimburse them for the money that they spend in caring for these children was blocked. And we are looking for other solutions to deliver help to those community-based organizations that want to help the children that have taken the dangerous journey. We are working with other states cooperatively, and we are building our own capacity to address the needs of children to make sure that they are cared for.
Secretary Marcus, thanks for your time.
A lot of instances, the kids that are crossing the border, in a lot of circumstances, the kids that are crossing the border unattended either have a parent that might have died along the process, which was really fucking brutal, or they have parents that are already, they have relatives on the other side that have been there ahead of time and have established like a situation, like a relatively stable economic situation so that they can finally take care of their fucking kids. That's how it works. That's where it's coming from. They have like, you know, they have aunts, uncles, they have like at least some blood relatives that they can rely on. No one is, they're not fucking, you know, yeeting their baby over the goddamn border. They're not like fucking, you know, spiking the baby over the border wall and hoping that it survives on the other side. Like, that's not how this works.
This morning.
Well, hey there,
Here is Tucker Carlson greatly accelerating the situation here, agitating, throwing more fucking fuel to the fire, talking about how, dude, can you please stop linking me? What the fuck's going on in Haiti? Like, dude, I'm talking about something different. I understand. I get it. Okay, I know. You want me to talk about Haiti as well. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You're getting really aggressive too. Like, I'm gonna talk about Haiti as well. Okay, just wait. Just hold the fuck on. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I won't link it anymore. I mean, look at this. Look. Just look.
That children brought here illegally are treated.
Don't ban him. Don't ban him. It's understandable that they want me to cover something that's important to them, but it's just like,
once they're in custody. You haven't heard a lot of concern about that recently, and maybe you should. Tonight, migrant.
They already said sorry. Shut the fuck up. Don't make fun of the
facilities at the U.S. border are now at 730% capacity.
Hold
There
on,
are
I'll be
reports
back.
of children going without showers or beds. Julio Rosas is a senior writer with townhall.com. He's in nearby McAllen, Texas, near the Mexican border, and joins us tonight with an update. Julio, thanks so much for coming on. I know there's been a massive influx into the United States. What do the border detention facilities look like tonight?
Well, unfortunately, not too good. And the reason.
The best part about this, again, is talking about the gruesome and horrific conditions within these facilities. And the alternative is like, well, okay, make them better. But then if you do that, Tucker Carlson is going to turn around and be like, it is shocking the disdain that liberals feel, these elitist, technocratic neoliberals feel against the American working class. We have a family here in Idaho, starving, barely able to make ends meet, about to get evicted from their house. The government has failed them. The government has also failed them twice by taking some of those resources away from the average working class American and giving it to migrant children. These migrant children are coming across the border to dramatically change the American ethnic hierarchy. They're coming over and they have nefarious purpose. They might look like 4-year-olds from afar, but deep down inside, they have an agenda. That agenda: destroy American way of life. So I ask once again, what is a white nationalist? Really? They keep saying white nationalist this, white nationalist that. It's almost like the default argument for the liberal. Just because I simply want to secure a meaningful existence for our culture and our children and their future does not make me a white nationalist. Just because I'm reciting 14 words back to back does not mean that liberals can automatically call me a white nationalist. I mean, maybe I am a white nationalist after all, but what is white nationalism really? I just happened to put 14 words and strung them along. All of a sudden, you're going to call me a Nazi. Is the video broken? I hear Tucker, but it's not playing. Yeah, we're gonna get to the wet pussy shit in a second. It's great. It's just like he's like gonna talk about how fucking shitty the conditions are for immigrant children. He's gonna talk about how liberals were making a big deal out of it when fucking Trump was president, but they're not anymore. He's gonna talk about and he's gonna make it seem like he cares about the well-being of these migrant kids, when in fact he would rather literally fucking murder them. Like, if the American government was murdering migrant children and it was a Republican government, he would be like, well, this is a well-deserved punishment for trying to ruin American culture. American society and civilization has been attacked every single day by outsiders who are not a part of our family. Like,
Reason why is just, as you mentioned before, they are way over capacity, and that is just simply due to the massive numbers of illegal immigrants that are coming across in sectors like the Rio Grande Valley. On Friday night, I counted 263 illegal immigrants crossing the Rio Grande and turning them.
Remember, illegal immigrants
themselves into Border Patrol in the span of about 3 hours. Sunday night, it was about 230.
What about refugees or asylum seekers? Nope, illegal immigrants. Yeah, them illegal baby immigrants are coming in to steal our baby jobs. Dumbass. I counted. There were 263 illegal baby immigrants that want to take space, valuable space, in American white kindergartens. They will play house with your daughter. You understand? I repeat, these Mexican babies will play house with your daughter instead of other white children in the kindergarten. I counted.
Again, the same, crossing the Rio Grande and handing themselves over to Border Patrol. And the reason why is because they knew they weren't going to be deported right away because either they were a family unit or they were unaccompanied minors, some as young as 8. And so right now we're seeing the consequence of the influx because there's an administration in place that not only has open border rhetoric, but also open border policies in place.
We just showed tape of a woman also in the state of Texas, an elderly woman being thrown to the ground in a Bank of America franchise because she wasn't wearing a mask. Do you know anything about the COVID screening that the Biden administration is doing of the people coming into our country illegally?
So COVID tests are being administered in cities like Brownsville. Again, I can tell you just anecdotally here.
Mexico has stricter COVID protocols than the United States does. This is not even a joke. I know this from someone who was there recently. Mexico literally has stricter COVID regulations than the United States. Definitely Texas. Mexico literally has stricter COVID rules than fucking Texas. 1000%. Don't say no, they don't. For the record. And they are also COVID testing the people.
Hearing the people that were coming across in the groups, there was a lot of coughing, there was a lot of sneezing, and whether or not it was COVID obviously remains to be seen, just because obviously they're exposing themselves to the elements on this long and very dangerous journey.
Right.
And so
also, the Texas thing was a joke because Texas has no COVID restrictions. So I don't know if you guys were there, but Governor Abbott literally fucking said, not only are we not doing mask mandates anymore at the state level, if localities want to enforce mask mandates, it's going to take an additional week for us to process it and probably stop you in the process. Like, they are not in the state of Texas. They're not only saying you don't need to wear a mask. They're saying if you want to implement a mask mandate, well then, you know, you're doing nanny state shit and we will stop you. While simultaneously saying immigrants are bringing in COVID.
there's just a lot of abuses that happen here, and so it's just a very dangerous journey for people to take. And unfortunately, we're seeing kids who are by themselves taking that journey.
Yeah, a lot of them. Julio Rosas for us at the border tonight. Thank you so much. Immigration into this country illegally has exploded. Tomorrow we're going to visit one of the sources of it, one of the most dangerous places on earth. We'll be broadcasting from there tomorrow night. We'll hope you'll join us.
That's great. What a story, dude. What a fucking story, dude. What a story. Here's a video of the woman being arrested for being masked that they talked about. Yeah. Here is Representative John Katko on Fox News spreading a rumor and innuendo that terrorists are crossing the southern border. Now, this is part of the reason why the Department of Homeland Security and ICE was created, for the record. This is as is the case with most conservative rhetoric, it is very old school, okay? They hate recycling to save the environment, but they love recycling old takes. Claiming that Al-Qaeda is coming over the southern border is a meme at this point for all the young Zoomers in the chat who are listening into this and hearing it for the first time going, what the fuck? Are you serious? Except this old man remembers a time when the American conservative movement was utilizing that talking point to enforce stricter border control, saying that Al-Qaeda was coming over the southern border. So this is not new stuff. They always do that.
The migrants that are crossing, there might be other bad actors and possibly even terrorists. What did you hear from Border Patrol yesterday?
Well, it was a stunning revelation, to be honest with you. We were at the edge of where New Mexico, Mexico, and Texas meet, and it's called Monument 3. We're sitting up on a bluff, and we're asking the agents that are on the front lines. And by the way, there is a big gap in the fence there because of they stopped construction. But when I talked, one of them was telling us what they were seeing coming across the border. They saw over 100 people come across in the last few days in that one little sector. And he said, some of them were on the list. And I said, list? And he said, yeah, the terror watch list. Wow. And I was stunned. And I've never heard that before. They said they've seized not just people from Central and South America, but even people from Yemen and places in the Middle East that are terrorism hotbeds.
In addition to
Yeah, everybody knows terrorism is happening. Like, motherfucker, in America, the real terrorism, I hate to say this because, like, I don't want, like, additional enforcement and a wider dragnet for, like, whites or whatever the fuck that they're doing to Muslims. But if there's a legitimate problem with terror in America, and there is, with domestic terror, it's literally people who vote for you, okay? Like, dudes who vote for you who are LARPing as Al-Qaeda on the weekends, okay? They get together and I mean, they get together and do military simulations. Not like the Iraqi guy, I guess, that crossed the border or something in your fucking mind. Don't you know, my friend, if American terrorists want to come into the country, they can do it very easily after getting CIA training? I don't understand. What is this? Oh, terrorists are coming over the southern border. Why? They could just literally fly in. I'm surprised. No, that's not a pun, by the way. That wasn't a 9/11 pun. Well, it was kind of, but like I didn't mean it in the way that like they're flying into buildings. I meant like they can just... Fuck! Okay, all right. Let's just move on from that. Moderna announces vaccine trials on children. One sperm donor, 50 million lawsuit. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on from that quickly. The state of conservative comedy in 2021. Let's take a look at what...
I don't know where you find this many farmers of color, but they did, and 5.2 billion are being allocated exclusively for colored farmers. Farmers of color, roll the tape.
We begin today's show looking at a major provision in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that aims to address decades of discrimination against Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Asian American farmers who've historically been excluded from government agricultural programs. The American Rescue Plan sets aside $10.4 billion for agriculture support and allocates about half the funds to farmers of color who are, quote, subjected to racial or ethnic prejudice because of their identity as members of a group, unquote. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights confirmed as long ago as 1965 the U.S. Department of Agriculture discriminated against Black farmers, but little was done to address...
I wonder if these guys that are making fun of the situation are aware of a system called slavery and a lack of reparations. Well, sorry, there were reparations just to the white slave owners and not the Black people that were recently freed, or Reconstruction, sharecropping. I mean, numerous things that have happened in American history that literally, personally brutalized farmers of color. I don't know if that's I mean, I guess that there's just like, I guess that didn't happen. You know, Hasan, you mentioned this slavery thing. What's this about? You've piqued my curiosity, sir. What is this reparations thing you speak of? What is this slavery thing you speak of? Very interesting. Very curious. I don't really know what it is. Just tell me a little bit more.
100 years ago? Yeah.
Oh, it happened 100 years ago. Okay. Let's enslave your fucking family and rape them and murder them and for 100 years and see how you fare. Okay? Just saying, like, oh, it happened 100 years ago. Also, it's not 100 years ago. It is literally an ongoing problem if you don't address the issues.
Most happy about the new policy, these people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man. I'm gonna plant that corn. Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that
That's so bad, dude. What the fuck? Ah, that was so bad that it turned around to be funny again. What the fuck? Yo, I have never seen someone be more white painfully while trying to do AAVE than Steven fucking Crowder, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. That was a 360. Like he wanted to be funny. It was not funny on its own, but it was so fucking bad that like it turned around for me. Yo, new GTA update your GTA. Make sure your shit is updating so you don't get stuck tonight. What do you mean? This is literally boomer racism, okay? This is straight the fuck up. Like, it is just, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what we just saw. I don't know how to describe it. It's like old people think that this shit's funny. Like 65-year-old people think this is like, yeah. You see that? He's imitating a black. Every black person is a rapper. Let's watch it again.
People. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man. I'm gonna play.
It's like, it feels like this person has never been around black people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you literally have only seen black people in movies, I think, in like very weird movies. That like this is the only way that you can. Only 2% of farmers are black, and they own less than 1% of the land. In the 1920s, they were around 15%, but they have slowly been dispossessed of land by racists like Crowder. Dude, honestly, if you find Steven Crowder to be funny, like you might be entitled to some compensation because, you know, I guess like a piano fell on your head or something when you were walking down the street. Or you sucked too much asbestos when you were growing up. Like, there's no fucking way that anyone looks at this and goes, huh! This is fucking funny, dude. This is fucking good, dude. Oh, God. I don't know what's worse. The fact that he's like, I'm going to fucking nail this impression, or the fucking annoying dipshits in the peanut gallery are like, yeah, you fucking nailed it again, dude. You fucking nailed it, dude.
I'm gonna plant that corn. Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they kept going. Okay. Oh, shit. It was getting worse. Remember Chatters? 30 seconds ago, you said, don't play that clip back. Turns out I spared you an additional bumper that was 2 minutes long for them to literally go into straight up like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Black people did not want to be slaves. Okay. There's a difference between being a slave and being a farmer.
Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated
You don't
against?
have to. You just
Well, I
say.
didn't get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the
Bro, these people want to be oppressed so bad, dude. Like, it's so obvious. They're literally jealous. Like, you can sense it. Like, come on, dude. Why is dude, I'm the real person that needs, like, I'm a white podcaster. I'm the one who's, like, actually faced depression. Come on, dude. Just give me some money or something. Like, just acknowledge, acknowledgement would go a long way. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on. Black farmers are not oppressed.
loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but that shit ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor, motherfucker.
Don't white people just go to their neighborhoods and build urban farms and ruin their communities? Isn't that what
how
it works?
in Detroit? Like, turns out the soil content there's a high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy. Whoa.
Wow.
Wait, what? Wait, is he saying, like, black people are making meth, too, in the fucking farms?
The high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy. Whoa.
Wow, I didn't know.
I think he mixed up the jokes there for a second. Like, I thought that was white people shit. Like, did I misunderstand what he's saying? Like, in his world, like, meth is also black people shit? Like, what? Yo, he's mixing up his racisms, guys. What the fuck? Listen, motherfucker. If you're gonna do stereotypes, at least get it right, okay? What the fuck is this? Wait, I thought they were supposed to be thinly veiled racism. This is overtly racist. Prodigy should have been raised in the peanut gallery is laughing. This is sick. Anybody who espouses Steven Crowder's philosophy is a free ticket to come cash these hands anytime. Yeah, imagine being so fucking stupid that you can't even do, like, literally just, like, you need a singular brain cell to be able to do, like, racist humor, okay? Black people dumb. Black people rap music. Blah, 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 right? Like, in order to fuck up that thing, you need to lose that remaining brain cell if you turn around and literally say, like, oh, black people like cooking meth. I mean, fuck, I don't know. I think he's saying black people go to white neighborhoods and make urban farms, but then white people have meth in the ground. I don't know if it hurts my brain. No, he was saying that white people go into gentrify black neighborhoods, which is true, and they build urban farms in black neighborhoods, and they find meth in the ground because black people are fucking cooking meth in the ground. Or some shit. I don't fucking know. Yeah, exactly. Steven Crowder, that's fail RP. It's meth is most commonly associated with white criminals. Okay, and then that's a -10. Steven Crowder, -10. -10, -10. He wants to be Limbaugh so bad.
Teeth. Just random teeth littered everywhere.
And by the way,
pain in my arugula.
Anyway. All the people kind of know that the fact that they're supposed to be racist, but they don't quite know how to do it properly, so they just become overtly racist. Steven Crowder's also unironically anti-weed in 2021. I mean, he's such a fucking goober, dude. He is the ultimate dweeb. Like, what a fucking dork, dude. That's all I got for Steven Crowder. You're such a dork. Like, Oh, this is what I wanted to really talk about. The real fucking shit, dude. The real shit. The real issue. The real issues. He's about 10 minutes away from Crowder Studio, and he did a few change my minds in my college while I was there. Our school was the only one to protest him and force him out to come us instead of vice versa. It's really weird that YouTube still puts up with this shit. Of course they still put up with this shit. What are you kidding me? It's fucking YouTube. The princess of Arizona learned that shitting on Fauci ends badly, so now she's all pro-science keck. What? Steven Crowder operates like a Karen. Like, he is literally a Karen. But because, he agrees, or conservatives look at that and go, oh, well, like, this guy has the same opinion that I do, so he must be funny. I'm going to laugh at the shit that he's saying, including, like, the racist stuff that he's saying. It's pretty funny to me, because I think racism is poggers, or whatever the fuck people are saying in his audience. I don't know. YouTube's mascot should be Mr. Krabs. Money, money, money. Don and the gang failing RP by cooking meth because the majority of them are alright. -1. That kind of Crowder racism is what every black person who went to a mostly white school dealt with. I just like... I don't know. I mean, look, I love dark humor. I love edgy humor. I think you can certainly have racialized humor that's fucking hilarious if it's well done. But it comes from a place of knowledge, right? If you don't understand the subject matter that you're covering, if you don't have a deep understanding of the subject matter you're covering, you're just going to point at it and go, haha, this is funny. Right? Like, they're just weird, right? Or you're going to rely on, like, old-ass fucking tropes. It's like making a joke... It's just, I don't even want to get into it any further. Like, I don't want to talk about, like, racial stereotypes like that. It's not... The thing about, like, Cumtown, for people who are like, this is just Cumtown, this is just Cumtown. The thing about Cumtown is they're making fun of how fucking stupid, 90% of the time, they're making fun of how stupid the fucking racialized stereotypes are. Or how stupid people would be when they are making those stereotypes. Or as far as, to my knowledge at least, I don't really listen to Cumtown as much as I used to. The line is race realism. Any jokes that do race realism are bad. Yeah. The problem with edgy comics is they all try to imitate George Carlin but fail at it. Careful, some people might use this as an argument to make racist jokes and defend it with, I understand the context, so it's okay. But you don't. And it's pretty obvious you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious when someone makes a joke or when someone is attempting humor, you don't want to come across like Steven Crowder, ever. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, like, he's just not funny. And you never want to be unfunny, right? Like, it's just... I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh my God, it's racist, whatever. Okay. But it's the worst thing you can tell people like Crowder is that they're also not funny. Like, it's not that you're saying some racist shit. Okay. I'm not triggered. I don't give a fuck. I am not the subject matter. It's not going to harm me, but you're just not very funny. It's like pretty fucking cringe. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna try your hand at offensive humor, like, you gotta be funny. Because if you fail to be funny, then you're just an asshole. You see what I'm saying? It's and most comics will agree with me on this point of view. I've talked to a lot of comedians. I'm a fan of comedy, and like, there is always a fine line when you are attempting edgy humor, right? And if you fuck up on that line, then you're not... If you fuck up on the line on edgy humor, then it's terrible. Because bombing is already really awkward and really horrible. But you're now bombing as a person who is just an asshole. Kramer is a great example. Anyway. Edgy humor is good when you feel equal with the person. This is a Fifi's thing. As a black, I can tell when someone is trying to put me down versus banter, and that also has to be funny. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, what Steven Crowder is doing is like what Steven Crowder is doing is like a 14-year-old who just learned a bad word, or like a 12-year-old who just learned a bad word, and they're like, I'm gonna say it like a slur, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say the slur. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh, I said it, poopy. Like that's what you're doing. Peak edgy humor is Brass Eye. Nothing comes close to it. I love Brass Eye. Fucking UK. Shouts out to the boy dem. UK bravs. Boy brav is Shank City brav. Fancy a meat shanking, yeah? I agree. It's funny to talk about the subject matter that you understand. Like, I find it super funny when Chappelle makes jokes about race and makes fun of white people, but I don't find it funny when he talks about trans and gay people. Exactly. I've talked about this before. Like, sorry, but white privileged assholes like that will never get edgy humor correct. It'll always come across as awful no matter what. I don't know. I think white privileged assholes do a decent job with like edgy humor if they're like they can do a decent job of edgy humor if they are trained and only do fucking edgy humor. That's not true. There's a bunch of fucking white people that do edgy humor that I like and are funny. It's just the difference is like fucking Steven Crowder is just not talented. That's the main difference. He's just not talented. And honestly, you got to work towards your talents. You got to work towards your strengths, right? And if you're not a fucking funny person, then stop trying to do edgy humor because it's not working. What Tosh.0, right? He's supposed to be the villain. Nick Mullen, he's supposed to be the villain. Like Anthony Jeselnik, like when they do edgy fucking jokes, they are saying like, I am the villain in the situation. I am portraying myself as a bad guy. Steven Crowder, on the other hand, when he's doing that, is literally what he's doing in that situation is just like, this is my worldview. I think black people are this way, and I'm just going to keep fucking, playing really just shitty fucking tropes because I have no jokes of my own. I can't come up with anything. I can't come up with any material. So I'm just basically doing the racism version of what's the deal with airplane food? Do you understand what I'm saying? He's just being himself. That's the best way that I can try to describe this situation as someone who is a fan of comedy and also even, laugh at edgy humor from other white dudes that do like edgy ass fucking jokes. I think, for the record, yes, for those of you who are saying, like, why did you have to describe this? I definitely have to describe this. I have a leftist community. Leftist communities are notoriously unfamiliar with the subject of humor, or even if they are aware of the subject of humor, they refuse to acknowledge that they know such a thing exists, okay? So, this is like, you literally need to go through like what is comedy 101 every time we talk about fucking jokes and humor and edge shit. Anyway. Let's watch real fucking comedy, which is conservatives being conservatives. Now, we've already talked about this, but there is perhaps no better recognition that we have returned back to the normalcy of losing our minds over monotonous, boring stories and the outrage cycle back into being like full effect. What? Stop coping with shadow punching left again. Give some examples of jokes that are funny about how I'm black or black people in general. And stop saying this zero IQ shit. Guess the issues was D wasn't funny with his racist humor. Stop coping with shadow punching left again. Give some examples of jokes that are funny about how black or black people in general. Stop saying the zero IQ shit. I will unironically give you an example after I come up with one if you want. If you legitimately want, I will. Unless you're like just fucking bent and you are looking for you're looking to extract racism out of my takes or something. Anyway, as I was saying, let's get back to it. There is no better representation than there's no better representation about that revolves around fucking return to normalcy than Tucker Carlson trying to create something. Tucker Carlson trying to create a new outrage cycle. Okay. Around wet ass pussy, dem culture vandals censoring many art forms. Let's take a look at what this new wet ass pussy shit is about.
Question.
I know that like did WAP get like a Grammy or something? That's why I saw that the conservatives were losing their minds over this. Nature is healing, and conservatives are upset about dumb shit again.
Well, we learned last night at the Grammy Awards. Here's a clip of the only portion we could play you. No more Dumbo. It's too filthy.
What?
We get.
Dude, you are such a fucking nerd, dude. I'm sorry. You are such a fucking gigantic nerd, dude. If you look at something like that and go, I can't believe that the entertainment industry is doing some degeneracy again, when like literally all art has always been degenerate forever. I don't know what to tell you. Just like, you know, this Monet guy started drawing naked women that were commoners. Back in my day, the only women that were supposed to be naked were angels. I find this to be distasteful. Why are we now drawing naked prostitutes? These impressionists. What are they talking about? What do they want to do? Seriously upset with how things are going in the art world. Are they doing art or are they doing degeneracy masquerading as art? It's like what are you fucking are you in the 17th century? Like what the fuck's going on? Back in oh, Jesus Christ. It's literally like being upset at this is so dumb. It's just so fucking dumb. Equating this to Art Pepega, dude, this is, whether you admit it or not, whether you can say it's commodified to the fucking 10th degree or not, doesn't matter. It's still fucking art. You're consuming it. It's made for your consumption. It doesn't have to be like high art. It's still fucking art, you dumbasses. It's music. Music is literally art. Stop being moronic Puritans. I promise you, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? Art, the expression of application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Exactly. This double standard shit is getting old as fuck. What do you mean? You call that music? Again, guys, just because you personally do not appreciate it does not change the reality that it is absolutely designated as art, okay? And the example I gave you is literally an example from history in the way that the art world originally, or the intelligentsia originally, regarded a new wave of fucking painters that were changing the norms of sexuality and human bodies in the way that they are demonstrated on a fucking canvas. I'm literally giving you a 5-head art take that you would know if you understood art history that is a direct comparison to what is going on here. Having a conversation about like how commoditized art is nowadays because of capitalism or whatever the fuck is entirely separate, okay? Anyway. They just base their art on religion and not pop culture? Yeah. So, it might not be high art, but that doesn't change the reality that it's still art. And it's degenerate, okay? It is degenerate. It is certainly degenerate. It's hedonistic. It is made primarily for immediate consumption, okay? It tickles your fancy by it tickles your fancy by reinforcing like the primal urges that you feel, okay? But it's still fucking art. I'm sorry that it's not Christian dad rock, Tucker Carlson, okay? I'm sorry that the art that you wanted to see at the Grammys is not fucking, again, like garage bands that talk about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, or whatever the fuck this psychopath is into. Anyway. The Nazis used to get pissed because visitors to their art museums prefer the degenerate art, which was new, different, and interesting instead of the good trad art. Tucker's on this exact same shit. Exactly. Nazis had a very interesting point of view on what they considered to be degenerate art as well. So it's understandable that a fucking modern contemporary fascist would have a similar point of view. It's just whatever. Mental gymnastics? No. The only person that is engaging in mental gymnastics is you, because you are trying to become a mental gymnast. You are literally trying to comprehend a very basic subject. Okay? I'm not saying it's highbrow art. Okay? I'm not saying it's high art. I'm just saying it's art. It literally is subjective. You cannot deny that it's art. Anyway.
That instead. Candace Owens is the author of Blackout and the host of Candace. She joins us today. Candace Owens, thanks so much for coming on. It's hard not to conclude they're intentionally trying to degrade our culture and hurt our children.
I mean, absolutely, Tucker. I mean, Dr. Seuss, gone. Mr. Potato Head, problematic, not enough genders available. We've seen going through the supermarket as a traumatizing experience. We lost Aunt Jemima last year. We lost Land O'Lakes butter last year.
Like, zero fucking people were like, we need to stop Aunt Jemima. Like, zero people said that. Okay? The only people that talked about fucking Aunt Jemima and, like, Land O'Lakes butter or whatever, or Mr. Potato Head and his potato dick, have been conservatives, are conservatives. They're just literally having a conversation in their own circle. Okay? It's just conservatives back and forth talking about how crazy liberals are. Like, zero liberals are like, oh my God, I'm so glad that fucking Aunt Jemima doesn't exist anymore. It's so dumb.
We lost Uncle Ben and his rice last year because everything is so traumatizing for children to look at. But this spectacle, virtually what we were looking at last night was a lesbian sex scene being simulated on television. And this is considered feminist. It's iconic. It's forward. It's progressive. It's the way the world's going, Tucker. And if you don't see that, it's because you're a bigot. You don't understand. This is the way the world needs to go. I 100% agree with you in the assessment that this feels more sinister.
Yeah, why can't we go back to the old days when, like, rock musicians talked about fucking 14-year-old girls? Like, why can't we go back to the good old days? You know what I mean? When music was about having sex with a fucking 14-year-old girl. Right? I don't understand it, brother. Why the fuck can't we listen to real music, brother? What is this lesbian shit? What is this lesbian bullshit? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, how many songs are out there about like fucking 17-year-olds, dude? I feel like literally every song before 1980 is like about having sex with a 17-year-old girl. Well, not just. Anyway. Christine 16 by Kiss. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why 17 specifically? I don't. They're like fucking. They're like manga writers. That's why. That's literally it. They're like dudes who fucking write animes and write the plot line of animes. They have to specify that the person is 17. Rock musicians in the 60s, 70s, and even before that too. And those who fucking write for animes and mangas, like, literally specify exclusively. They're like, this person is 17, by the way. Anyway. The Beatles, she was only 16, but you know what I mean? Can't tell if you mean the Cherry Pie song, She's My Cherry Pie, the Whitesnake song, or the one where Steven Tyler had his daughter in the music video for it. Isn't Cherry Pie also about a young girl too? Or is that not?
This is starting to me to seem like it's not even
Like, it is. You know what's funny about this? What's really funny about this situation? What's really funny about the situation is that, like, conservatives have demonstrated, unironically, the fucking need for music like Wet Ass Pussy, because the entirety of the conservative side of the political spectrum showcase that they don't understand that pussies are supposed to be wet. Okay? So I'm glad that music like WAP is showing a basic biological function of reproduction that conservatives have never fucking seen. And from that respect, this is art. Okay? There you go. It's not only art made for your consumption, it's lowbrow art, it's degenerate art, it's hedonistic art. Okay? It's capitalist art. But there is a lesson there. And that is, the pool boy makes your wife's vaginas wet. You do not, and you should work on that. Okay? There you go.
the world needs to go. I 100% agree with you in the assessment that this feels more sinister. This is starting to me to seem like it's not even left or right. It's not a political issue. This seems like an attack on American values, American traditions, and you're actually actively trying to make children aspire to things that are grotesque. This is not about diversity anymore, Tucker. It's about perversity. No. We are celebrating perversity in America.
They're trying to degrade us. I mean, if you think about all...
Yeah, they're trying to degrade our culture. They're trying to degrade our culture. They're trying to degrade our culture. Like, what is our culture, dumbass? What is American values? We're a penal colony of degenerate criminals, okay? That's how we fucking started. What do you mean? Like I don't even understand what this fucking take is, okay?
All the energy that our professional class expends trying to extinguish political views they disagree with, and you've been the target of this. We have too.
I mean, it's definitely not suitable for kids. Dude, it's not for kids. I don't understand. Since when is art made for consumption supposed to be for fucking kids? It's not Thomas the Tank Engine, okay? Idiot. What, 10-year-olds are not supposed to be consuming the fucking Grammys. Like, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. I actually took the time out from watching my favorite juicer to go and watch the Grammys. I really need to figure out who won Best Tropical Latino music producer. I'm really rooting for whatever fucking, I don't know, name a Latino music producer. Yeah, Bad Bunny. Can't name one. I don't listen to music. I'm the worst person to talk about this because I literally do not listen to music. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No energy is spent at all trying to contain pornography, which is literally everywhere online, and not just people having sex, but like stuff that probably kind of hurt your brain if you looked at enough of it. And it's just everywhere, but no one ever says a word about it. For real, what does that tell you about their goals?
Actually, they say many words about it. They call this great. They say this is fabulous, that this is the stuff that children should be aspiring towards. So at the same time, Tucker, that we have...
Yeah, that's like wet ass pussy is actually a fucking... Wet ass pussy is literally about it's a how-to guideline for you know what children should do. That's what that song is actually.
Kids that are not learning hard academics anymore in school, right? Forget about mathematics and science. You can trust the science and trust Dr. Fauci, but you have these kids learning about critical race theory. They're learning that they should aspire to people like Cardi B. You see that fundamentally we are seeing the destruction of American...
Bro, this is literally just a word salad. She is just gargling fucking random words. She's just tossing random words out there that are like loosely... She's playing word association with leftist concepts, hoping that it fucking sticks. Oh, what's happening with wet ass P word is this is critical race theory. Like, how is this critical race theory, man? Like, I can't understand this. She's just fucking ad-libbing right now. What kind of class tells you how to be Cardi B? Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this before, but like, of course, Tucker Carlson joked about sex with a teen beauty queen, obviously. I gotta be honest, I thought she was kind of appealing. He stayed in the Bubba the Love Sponge show while also joking about jerking off to the young contestants. Remember how when I went to the fucking QAnon rally and I asked them like, oh, you guys are protesting cuties, like, what about child beauty pageants? And literally conservatives were like, wait, child beauty pageants are fine, actually. Oh, really? So child beauty pageants are fine, but you're upset about fucking cuties. Okay, got it. So you just don't give a shit about whatever you like to enjoy for some fucking weird psychotic reason. Like, conservatives love child beauty pageants for some fucking weird reason, okay? This is white people shit. That's why.
Values, American principles. And it's terrifying. I think parents should be terrified that this is the direction that our society is heading towards. And again, we are weakening America. That's really what we should be talking about. This is a weakening of American society. We are setting the stage, and it feels like...
Bro, if you're fucking screeching about a musical performance at the fucking music show for adults and talking about how this is degenerating American culture, you're a fucking idiot, okay? You're right. We are literally fucking weak. We are too weak that this is the most popular news broadcast, and that's what you choose to spend your time on. Again, completely made up, completely fabricated, ridiculous, idiotic outrage culture. And it's basically to tell 75-year-olds like black women are rubbing their pussies on one another on television, and that's terrifying, and it's destroying America. It's like, no, it's not. It's just a fucking song, okay? Jackass, this is not touching American culture and ruining American culture, whatever the fuck that might be.
We are looking at corrosion. Like, we are about
It's
to
just
see the
conservative
end of the
identity
empire.
politics
America
is what they're
cannot
doing.
Survive. It cannot be
That's right.
sustained under these sorts of values and principles.
So I mean, this is personal for you. You just had a son.
I mean, Hasan, Cardi B openly admits she refused to let her daughter hear or watch the song as a parent. Okay, but I never said this is for mass consumption, you fucking idiot. What the fuck are you saying? Did I literally say, if I ever have a child, I'm going to make them fucking sit there and forcibly get them to watch this? Like, not everything is conservatives. There is no room for comedy anymore. Liberals don't want edgy humor to happen. Also, conservatives, every part of culture needs to be tailor-made for children and mass consumption. Everything should be a Disney movie. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Make sense, please.
Recently, and I think you and a lot of other young parents are going to start to think, well, you know, how maybe can we create something different? Would you want to raise your kids? In a sincere question, in a world like this.
No, and I say to people all the time that follow me, I'm sincerely looking at homeschooling, making sure that my kid is not going to be polluted with this, because like I said, they are being taught that this is a form of freedom for women, right? As if every woman last night should have looked at that performance and said, I
mean, low-key, it kind of is. And the reason why it kind of is because, like, so many conservative men just basically showcase that, like, they didn't realize that pussies are supposed to be wet. Like, not only that, but they were just, like, running with, like, no, pussies aren't supposed to be wet. What is this? Like, what's going on? Liberals want to create a world in which pussies are wet. Well, here on the Tucker Carlson Tonight broadcast, we show you the real news, the real truth. Pussies are supposed to be dusty and dry, cobwebs within it. That's the perfect pussy that you could ever have. The one that my wife has. A dry ass P word. A dusty ass P word. Feels like sandpaper when you put it in.
You know what? Before I felt like I was a bird in a cage, but after seeing that, I feel inspired. That's the real me. That's what I want to actually be in this society. Like, we're breaking away from the patriarchy. This is not the patriarchy that's keeping young women down. It's displays like this, displays of blatant nudity and sexualization that is keeping women down in this society.
Yeah, that's what's keeping women down, dude. Thank you, Fuller. Then empty for the 5 gifted subs.
Totally degrading. And the same people who make it will lecture you about you hate women or something. I mean, who hates women, really? Candace Owens, I sure appreciate your coming on tonight. That was great. Thank you.
Hey, they're trying to create lesbians. It's another really good fucking take, dude. I love this shit. Don't know what she thinks homeschooling is going to do when literally homeschooled her high school still ended up being gang members is still out here, still on drugs and making what? Dems looked at what happened with RBG and said, let's do that again. The Supreme Court Justice doesn't need liberals to tell him he's 81. Wait, what? This is not a real fucking article title, right? There's no fucking way that this is like literally a real article title. Dude, no. Stephen Breyer has to fucking... There is no way that this is a real title. There's no way. I refuse to admit this is not real. I just can't see that this being a real fucking title, okay? There's no way. I just don't believe it. I do not fucking believe it. Stop telling Stephen Breyer to retire. Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Fuck you. Okay, it's top of the fucking hour every hour. It's time for a 60-second ad break, okay? I am going to run an ad right now, boys. This is fucking insane. I'm not even gonna cover this. I can't. We're gonna move on to some more fucking fun reacts right now. I don't want to do that. Let's see what this Joe Rogan ape brain shit is. If you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the ad now. Okay, here's the 1 minute ad. I gotta pee.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Let's watch
I'm very excited to talk to you because I had a guy on, Jamie Metzl yesterday, a scientist who scared the shit out of me, talking about China. He's talking about China. We were talking about China amassing naval power.
Oh.
China's taking over tech companies and how huge they're getting and how much influence they have over their people as opposed to the way we do it.
Well, he's not wrong.
No.
He's not, I can't spot the lie in what you just said, but I mean, look, there's so much we can talk about, but if you think about it, just in the past handful of months, there was this SolarWinds hack, right, by the Russians. So the Russians go in, they hack into a company called SolarWinds. That is an IT management software company that happens to be fairly deep into government organizations, agencies, Treasury, and a variety of others throughout the U.S. government. And they're also into parts of the intel community, Defense Department, in a lot of commercial sectors. So anyway, the Russians figure this out. Now, around about December or January, Microsoft, identified this as a problem. And I think it was the head of Microsoft said, this looks like the most sophisticated attack we've ever seen. So this is December, January timeframe. And they're still trying to figure out the depth of this hack by Russians. At the same time, and going back months and months and months and months before, the Chinese had been engaged in a more sophisticated attack that, while everyone is focused on what's going on and so fully aware that we got problems, right, from nation states out there who don't like us, everybody's talking about SolarWinds, and now it's, they've just now released information about the Chinese attack against Microsoft Exchange servers, running the Exchange email systems. And this thing is enormous.
I saw this funny unban request that I wanted to share. Balding Pepela, HasanAbi band Danyoyo, Sag, Daniolo. Yeah, because I was fucking in the middle of talking about some shit, and he's just like trying to get me to, he's trying to piss me off. Like, so instead of fucking getting brake checked and, making a weird turn into this dumbass chatter, I just banned him and moved on, which was a good thing to do in that situation. Yeah, let him be Sag, okay? I am not in an emotional headspace where you can be wearing that Jagger right now. I don't know what you mean by this.
And so the Chinese, we've been so focused for 4 years on the Russians, and they're out there to cause us all sorts of problems. So we should be focused on them. But it's China that's the biggest problem. And so this guy is absolutely right. Jamie's right.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Listen to what he was talking.
I think the biggest problem is that we do not have appropriate cybersecurity measures in the United States. Like, our systems are not protected. If a country like Iran or if a country like Russia could very easily hack in to some of our systems, like, you have a serious fucking defense problem. And part of that is because America's opinion on this matter has always been the best defense is a ridiculous offense. Okay? So, I got nothing else to say on that matter other than Hasan, there's a big difference between Iran and Russia. Russia has very sophisticated intelligence agencies and cyber capabilities. So does Iran in comparison, but neither should be able to take down the defenses of the wealthiest nation on earth, the most powerful and largest military on earth that spends $1 trillion every fucking year to, build a robust defense force. Tony and Lang en route to hit a Fleeka. I don't know if they want me there. Like, I'd be down to go with them, but I don't know. Are you defending the U.S.? No, I'm saying that the United States defense should be better. No meta? I mean, that doesn't fucking matter. Like, everyone, what, you think it's an accident that the boys fucking sign on when I get a laptop? Like, no, that's not meta. That's normal. Everyone always does that shit. Please, Gorillion, say Gorillion. Do you think cybersecurity is impenetrable? Like, what do you know about? No. I don't think cybersecurity is supposed to be impenetrable, but every defense expert that I've listened to has talked about how America, the United States, is very far behind on cybersecurity in comparison to a lot of other countries. Like, the human factor in every system is obviously the most easily penetrated part of every security system. Like, social engineering is incredibly successful. I mean, these guys literally will go to fucking conferences and drop a bunch of free USBs, and these dumbasses will put those USBs in their computers. Like, it's one thing that you should never do. Okay? And what I'm referencing is literally a real thing that happened. Another thing that they recently did was, like, they hacked into Fitbits and figured out secret military bases because American troops had Fitbits on and they were running around the fucking military base. Both of these things that I described to you have happened in the past. Using a USB is not allowed on a government workstation? Well, fucking was back in the day. Yeah, motherfuckers were mapping out the secret military bases because secret military bases, it wasn't amphibians, it was Strava. Sorry. The Fitbit one wasn't a hack. It was public information as far as I know. You know that's worse, right? That's literally, that's worse. Like having this information being readily accessible to the public literally makes it so much worse. What you're basically telling me is that what you're basically telling me right now is that you know, there's no security, there's no OPSEC. Yeah, I remember this. Fitness app Strava lights up staff at military bases. Here's a heat map. Why do you use the word conservatives like when you're talking about all of them? You always make every conservative to be a bad person, but they're not. I say this as a semi-leftist. Conservatism is antithetical to my worldview. So that's why in my worldview, people who are backwards are conservative, obviously. They want to conserve. They want to return to the way things used to be. I might hop into this fucking rob a bank, boys. I'm getting a hankering for it. Semi-leftist. If that's the case, like, you know, obviously this is my point of view. Obviously, I'm going to shit on conservatives because I am a progressive person. Update GTA 5? Why? Domestic cybersecurity falls under the umbrella of DHS. Instead of funding ICE, maybe we should fund CISA instead.